Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for today's video. I'm back here with you guys to test out some new fun, exciting products and to just kind of give you my thoughts on it. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I am not feeling the greatest. I'm very stuffy, so I apologize if you hear any sniffling. Sometimes you just can't help it, and I just feel like very like, so I'm going to try my best to deal with that and make sure that's not a huge issue, but I know myself and not feeling great. As well, the weather is not great either, which is kind of like, of course that would happen while I'm filming. And you might hear some noises because, you know, I live in a busy place, guys. It's just the facts. Love you all. Let's get started. Alright, so I'm gonna get started by priming my eyes with my MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. I really like this. I used it in my last video and I've just been really into it lately. It's really good. Okay, so today we're going to be using our Morphe 15N Nightmaster palette. The box that it comes in looks like this. It's kind of the new classic Morphe packaging. And when you unbox it, it looks like this. It's very sleek packaging. It actually feels very like pricey and expensive. It has a little bit of weight to it, and it's just, you know, kind of Morphe's new deal. I think that this is kind of their main packaging that they're going for now for a lot of their palettes. And it just feels very like, you know, expensive and luxe. The shadows look like this. All of the shades are really pretty. They have a lot of neutrals in there. They have a lot of, they have like a couple of pops of like purple color, but for the most part it's relatively neutral and it's a good mix of like warm and cool tones. So we're going to pick up our Alamar Cosmetics brush. This does not have a like name or number on it, but it's just their old school blending brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Selfie, and I'm just going to tap off the excess because Morphe shadows are good, but they can be a little powdery sometimes, and I am just going to start sweeping that kind of in the outer corner area and up on the crease. Now I'm going to pick up the shade Shook, and I'm going to take honestly just the same brush, and I'm just going to build up that deeper color a little bit. I'm going to start off on the outer edge. Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to build this up. And I'm going in kind of like windshield wiper motions when I get towards the crease. And then when I'm getting out towards the outer edge, I start doing little circular motions. So now I'm going to do something that's actually a little bit different for me. I'm going to bring in a cool tone shade. I'm going to bring in this shade Scene. It's kind of like a cool tone, like it has a little bit of a purple in it. It's like a purpley gray, almost like a charcoal color. I'm going to bring that in on the very outer corner just to kind of give us a little bit of smoke in there. I want to have like that kind of smoky effect. So I'm taking this Luxie 229 taper blending brush, and I'm just going to very lightly blend this out, keeping it pretty low and right on the outer edge there. Okay, so overall I do really like the shadow so far. I will say, however, I don't know if you can really see it, but like right up here it's a little patchy. Like I'm blending it and it's just kind of like not, like it's kind of staying there, but it's not as clear as I want it to be. But I don't know if that's like, I don't know, it's just a little patchy right there for me. So I'm taking this Alamar Cosmetics brush that I started with. It doesn't have any excess shadow on it. I'm actually just going to start just with what I already have and just blend out these edges a bit because I want to just diffuse that deepness now that we've gone back in, and just make sure that everything still looks really smooth. You could totally do this like when you were completely done the look, but I prefer to do it kind of in stages so that I make sure that, you know, everything looks really blended and good before I move on to the next stage, because I don't want to ever, I don't know, I'm just really big on making sure things look as cohesive as possible, and I don't want to ever like skip out on that. So I will literally be that person sitting there for hours blending out shadows until they look really good to me. And you know, I will critique myself even afterwards if I'm like, that could have been blended out better. Okay, so now I'm going in with the shade Creativity, and I'm just gonna put that like kind of right in the middle of my lid. To start off first, just to see how the shadows lay down without spraying my brush. So I have this little sample of the Smashbox primer water. I'm actually going to be using it on my face today, but I'm also going to just spritz my brush with it really quickly and just get a little bit more of that shade to pop. There we go. It looks so much better. Okay, so now I'm going to take this shade Talent, and with that same brush, I'm just going to put that on the inner part of the lid. So I'm going to pick up that same Alamar Cosmetics brush again. I'm going to pick up, I don't think I'm going to pick up any extra shadows again this time. And I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of blend right along that edge just to make sure that the crease area doesn't look really choppy and that everything just looks really nice and blended. So I want to take another shade just to kind of give it a little bit something extra, because I really do feel like it should have a little bit of something extra. I'm going to take the shade Unique, and I am going to just pop that in our inner corner, and I want to bring it up onto the lid just a teeny bit. Okay, so as you guys could tell from the title of today's video, I'm also going to be trying out some new foundations. This is the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation, and I have them in two shades here. I have it in the shade Bronze Beige 65 and Caramel Beige shade 80. So I'm very excited about this foundation. Actually, this will hopefully be my very first successful drugstore foundation. The very first one that I tried was the Flawless Finish Foundation, and it did not work on my skin. My skin broke out. Not to say that it doesn't work on other people, because I've seen so many people love it and rave about it, and even some of my friends have talked about how much they love it, but it just did not work out for me. So I'm really hoping this one does. I heard about it for the first time from Tati here on YouTube, and then I read a lot of reviews. I found out they extended their shade range, and their shade range is still not perfect, let me tell you. But I will say this, if you go on their website or even like on Ulta's website online, you will see there are a lot of shades that are only available online, they're not available in store. And I think that that's a problem, because I think that there's something to be said for the fact that many of these in-between shades are just online only, because I don't want to give space for it in the store. But like, if you're a person in that shade, like, you might need to go into the store to get it. And that's the problem that I face with drugstore foundations, is that, you know, I've been trying to find one that works for my skin so I can actually have a drugstore foundation, but it's so hard because I'm that in-between shade. Because of how golden I am, I'm the in-between shade, and I don't typically find exactly what I'm looking for. It's a whole ordeal. So I do want to say that I am aware that the color range, the shade range is not fantastic with these, but I do hope that if this is something that works well for me and that does work well for other women of color, that by us speaking up and speaking out, that they will say like, hey, we really need to stop making this an afterthought. We need to make this happen now. And they'll expand their shade range so that even more people can use it, because they did recently expand it, but they can do it so much more. So this is shade Caramel Beige in the number 80. I'll put that there. I'm gonna say that's too dark, and it actually looks a little like pinky almost on me. Like a little pinky, peachy pink. Like, it kind of looks orange on here, but on me I feel like it looks a little peachy. I don't know. And then this is the shade 65 in Bronze Beige. Maybe it's not pinky, maybe it just looks very like more orangey, like a color corrector. And this shade is Too Light. Of course, this is like what I constantly run into. So I just picked up this No Problem primer from Touch in Soul. I just kind of put it in the areas where I felt like I needed it, because I don't want to put on a mattifying primer since this is a matte foundation. And I picked up this Catrice Light Correcting Serum Primer in the shade Candlelight, and I just mixed it in with my Hangover RX primer, and that was my little cocktail, and I put that everywhere else. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead with our mixed foundations, and we are just going to apply it to the face. I want to start on one side. I'm going to hope for the best on this, honestly, because I don't know. I'm going to spray my sponge instead of my face instead of my face with the Smashbox primer water, and I'm going to just start blending. Okay, so I have one layer down, and so far it's giving like pretty decent coverage. It's kind of like light, almost medium. Like it's like decent coverage. Like I could go out with this. I do want to see if I can build it up just a little bit more, because it's supposed to be, I think you are supposed to be able to get almost full coverage with it. This has like a slightly pinky undertone, and it just is like, I can see it on my skin, and it doesn't match. When I pull down my shirt, you can see in my chest area, like it just does not match at all. I look a little dark for one, so this is definitely too dark for me, so I need to take this back and return it. But this one I could probably play around with, even though it is a little bit light. I might be able to mix it with something else. So I'm going to keep this one around, but this one I'm taking back when I go to Ulta the next time. I'm going to finish up the rest of like my base makeup, and I will be right back with you guys. Monitor, I feel like I look really ashy, but I honestly just feel like because the undertones of what I regularly use, like my concealers and stuff like that, are different than this, it just looks a little strange. So I'm a little perturbed, because overall, like I like the way that my skin looks, I like the way that my makeup looks overall, but it just could look so much better if this was my right shade, my right undertone, and I feel like everything just looks really crazy. I went from looking really dark to looking like really like ashy in the monitor. Like in the monitor, I feel like my skin just looks so ghostly and white, and before it looks really like deep and dark. So I'm a little confused, but whatever. We're going to just finish this up. I'm going to try my best to make this as successful as possible. So I want to try out this new Bite Beauty lipstick that I didn't even know I had. It's in this shade Glace. It's their matte lip crayon. Okay, right off the bat, in love with this. So I really like this. The color payoff is phenomenal. It feels really like comfortable in the lips. It looks good. It was easy to apply. And for this to be my first Bite Beauty experience, I'm kind of really into it. I want to very quickly just do the under eyes. It's going to be honestly really simple, because all I'm doing is picking up this brush here. This is another Vintage Cosmetics brush. I want to take the shade Cliche, and I'm just going to pop that right along the lower lash line and just smoke it out. Okay, so on the monitor, everything kind of looks just really light and bright and crazy. My face looks super ashy, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like because the base makeup was not what I needed it to be, everything else kind of didn't look as great on it. Like my eye makeup, I feel like looks great looking at my eyes. I love these lashes. I've worn them before. Like everything, all of that looks great. The lips look great. This palette is beautiful. It's a really great palette. I think that if you are curious about getting it or thinking about getting it, it's a great thing to have in your collection. It can be used totally for every day. It's very easy to make it day to night, which by the way, if you do want to see a day to night tutorial from me using this palette, please let me know and I'll do that for you. But I just overall feel like this was not the success that I wanted it to be. If I didn't know that this didn't match me, and if I had things that like I just feel like went along better and the undertones were better, this would work and look a lot better. But unfortunately, these two just were not it. Like I said, I want to keep this one and like play around with it one more time, see if I can make it work over like the next week or so before I return it. But this one for sure is just the wrong undertone. It doesn't look good. I'm not sure how well you can see it on camera, but in person I can definitely tell. Obviously putting my makeup on like kind of hit that a bit, but I know that it doesn't look as good and that my makeup doesn't look as good as my makeup could because of that. So looks really pretty. It's sitting nicely on the skin. I like the coverage of it. I like how easy it was to use outside of all the other stuff. I just like that, you know, it just applied easily and blends it out easily. So I do actually really like it, and I want to try and make the foundation itself work. Actually really love this Bite Beauty lipstick. This is such a beautiful color. I definitely am going to look into Bite Beauty even more now and pick up some more lips products from them because it's so pretty and comfortable in the lips, and I want to wear it like every day now. I'm genuinely in love with this shade. It just fell. I'll get it. So I'm happy with that. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, comment down below. I'm still getting back on my swing of things and making sure that I kind of make more sense and that I'm here and clear, so stay with me for that. Make sure you guys tune back in. I will see you guys on Monday. I have a brand new video. We're going to be testing out some exciting products from Profusion Cosmetics, so I will see you guys then. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all. Bye, my loves.